Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Janelle's off tonight. Sergeant Brett Becker describing the tense moments before he opened fire, leaving a man dead inside a Billings casino last spring. A jury tasked with deciding whether that shooting was justified. Officers had been looking for Sean Hubbard that night after a woman called saying he was at her home threatening her with a gun. Police located Hubbard at the Lucky Lil's Casino on Grand Avenue, and from there, things escalated. Q2's Samantha Sullivan was in the courtroom today and joins us now from the newsroom with more. Sammy?
Well, Russ, a jury did find Sergeant Brett Becker justified in that shooting. He described the moments after he entered the Lucky Lil's Casino that night, seeing people hiding behind the different machines, trying to figure out what was going on. This video was showed to the jury earlier today. Becker says moments after they entered the casino, he spotted Sean Hubbard holding what he believed to be a gun on the other side of the casino. He described how he told Hubbard to put the weapon down, but he refused. Becker says everything changed when Hubbard said he had hostages. Feeling as though Hubbard would kill someone as he stood there and looked on, Becker says he opened fire. Hubbard was shot multiple times and died later at a Billings hospital. Now, it was later determined that Hubbard's weapon was not a real gun, but witnesses stressed to the jury that did not matter, as Sergeant Becker had no reason to believe it wasn't real at the time and acted appropriately given the situation. The deputy state medical examiner told the jury today Hubbard had both methamphetamine and methadone, an opioid used to help wean addicts off of heroin in his system. He said the level of meth in Hubbard's system wasn't the highest he had ever seen, but it was easily in the top 10. Russ?
All right, thank you, Sammy. Other news tonight, Crow Tribal Chair Elvin Not Afraid Jr. officially has signing authority for the tribe's funds. That after a federal judge dismissed a case and canceled a scheduled hearing. The court was asked to determine who has that authority after Vice Chair Carlson goes ahead and Vice Secretary Sean Backbone wrote to First Interstate Bank that they were the legal signers. In an interpleader complaint, First Interstate asked the court to hold on to the funds until this could be settled. Judge Susan Waters stated that the bank had not shown that there are two or more opposing petitioners who may claim entitlement to tribe funds. She also stated that the Crow Tribal Civil Court already determined on January 29th that Not Afraid Jr. is entitled to access the funds. The judge said the court does not have interpleader jurisdiction, and she dismissed the case. A Crow spokesman says the Crow Tribal judge will issue an order in the next 2 weeks to determine who is the official Crow Tribal chair. Drug prosecutions in Montana have increased by 33% in recent years. It's because drug traffickers are using Montana's interstates like a drug superhighway to bring massive loads of meth and heroin into our state. And we've been taking a hard look at the problem this week. And tonight we're learning more about how meth can cripple lives. Here's Andrea Lutz with a preview of tonight's final story in our three-part series. Andrea?
Well, that's right, Russ. Drug traffickers directly linked to Mexican cartels drive our interstate system, bringing meth to Montana and putting people's lives at risk. So tonight, we introduce you to Mandy Nunez. She's a Billings woman who spent years of her life addicted to meth. She gets pretty real about the drug, where she tried it for the first time, and what it made her feel like. But she also talks about opening up about loss in her life from using that drug. She talks about the lows and, of course, the highs she felt from using it. But most importantly, Mandy talks about the moment that she knew she had to stop.
When the pain and fear of change becomes less than the pain and fear of staying the same, people become ready. But until that happens, they do what they know. They do what they're used to.
And tonight we also hear about what methods Montana uses to put away Mexican cartel drug members and what resources are available in our community to treat the meth epidemic. That final story in our Drug Superhighway series airs tonight. It's at 9 and at 10. Russ.
All right, look forward to it. Thank you, Andrea. More students have stayed at MSUB, making for the best retention rate in 5 years. There was a decrease of 27 students from the fall semester of 2018 to the spring semester of 2019. In the previous 4 years, MSUB has lost an average of 270 students between semesters. More than 2,500 students are at the university campus, with another 1,700 at City College for a total of more than 4,200 students. Chancellor Dan Edelman credits the use of retention initiatives, including a special course for freshmen, and more sections for high-demand classes for the better showing.
Because we are a smaller campus, we're able to know our students better, and a lot of students like that. They don't want to be in a room of 500 other students in a classroom. So we're able to make the connections. We're able to see when our students aren't in class. We're able to see when they're struggling. We're able to work out and reach them better. So it's good.
Chancellor Edelman anticipates increases in enrollment over the next few years. Massive fire that broke out overnight in Bozeman has continued to keep firefighters busy throughout the day. That fire consuming an unoccupied 4-story apartment complex on Babcock Avenue that was under construction. The first call came in just after midnight. No injuries to first responders or civilians have been reported, but roads in that area are still closed. The cause of that fire also still under investigation. Billings Metro Park has played host to a number of various expos and events, from presidential visits to festivals. Those floors have seen it all, but there's no bull about it. Agriculture still has a stronghold on the Metro Expo Center, and that's where we find Montana Ag Network's Russell Nemitz with more on this week's Mate Show.
Well, our region's largest farm and ranch trade show is officially underway here in Billings, Montana. Of course, I'm talking about the Montana Agri-Trade Exposition. And for 43 years now, the Mate Show has been showcasing the latest and greatest in ag equipment, technology, as well as products and services that help keep our farmers and ranchers on the cutting edge and ultimately in business. And this year's Mate Show and Home and Health Expo is certainly no different, with over 600 trade show booths doing exactly that. Now, some of the other highlights this year include educational opportunities at the Mate Show Theater, as well as some of the best bovine genetics available for our area ranchers at the Mate Show's Bullpen Preview. By the way, the Mate Show actually runs through this Saturday here in Billings at Metro Park. For all the details, you can visit them online at themateshow.com. Reporting from the Mate, Russell Nemitz, MTN News.
Well, tickets are $7 for attendees 15 and older, or you can pick up a free ticket from any show vendor or First Interstate Bank location. Well, when Q2's Rob Griggs came through the door today in his bright red shirt, we knew he was up to something this Valentine's Day, and it has something to do with giving someone the best gift of all. Rob?
We're at Vitalant here on the corner of 15th and Grand, Valentine's Day. Aaron Baker, I'll tell you what, the best day of the world I could think of to donate blood, to give a gift from the heart during Heart Month would be Valentine's Day.
Yes, totally. Impact as many lives as you can.
Okay. We were talking earlier, and I was surprised to hear that the need for blood in our community is just as high now as ever.
Yes, in fact, we're actually in urgent need right now.
So I've noticed when I came back in here for the first time in a long time, donating blood is extremely convenient. It doesn't take much time. It's easy to do these days. How would we encourage people to get this back into their routine on a regular basis?
Well, it's really important, and it's something that, a lot of people can do, and it only takes an hour. Yeah. You can do the questionnaire before you come in. You come in, have a snack, we'll draw some blood, have another snack, and you're out the door.
And maybe even get a snack in the pocket on the way out?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I haven't heard anybody yelp from the needle prick or anything. Everybody's been on their very best behavior in here.
Yes, they have. We may have threatened a little bit before you came in.
Everybody has to kind of be on their best behavior, because I can be cued off that sort of thing. So I want to remind folks, Vitalant is the name of what we used to know as United Blood Services. It's the same organization?
Yes, we are still your local nonprofit blood provider.
All right. And it surprised me to know that the outflow of blood from the donations is constant to our local hospitals, because the city has grown. This stuff isn't getting stockpiled.
No, it is not. And we supply about 30 hospitals in Montana and Wyoming, so we need about 200 units a day to supply all those.
So we want you to get this into your calendar, give blood on a regular basis. Billings is growing. We need your support. We're here at Vitalant, 15th and Grand. Aaron, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, send it back to the desk.
All right, thanks, Rob. And here's something to think about. Rob says that if everyone in our community who's able to donates blood just 3 times a year, there would never be any shortages at all. Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, Billings has 30 new United States citizens today, including one man who's been working for it for nearly a decade. And in sports, Scott hears from Montana's league-leading basketball men before they face off against Weber State tonight. And also shows us which high school tournament teams have been eliminated.
And coming up in weather, watching the next snowstorm starting to make its way into south central Montana. Could get some more snow in the Billings area before the night is through. We'll have the details coming up in a few more minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.